Hello, soul family. My name's Shelley. I'm grateful to be an alcoholic, and I am the sober psychic. So, what this channel is about, and welcome to my premiere, the sober psychic video. I appreciate you guys showing up so much. I hope that something resonates with you. If it does not, that's okay. There are plenty of other YouTube tarot readers and psychics that you can check out, and I encourage you to do so because this is about you, not me. Before we start, I had some dental work done last week, and if you see anything aesthetically that is off, I do apologize beforehand. So, gonna do the best I can with what I got to work with. All right, so I'm, as I said, an alcoholic. I'm also a crack/cocaine addict, and actually, my drug of choice was "What do you got?" because I was doing it, especially if I was drinking, and that is why I call myself an alcoholic. And I'm not going to refer to, and I do not. What's the word I want to use? I'm not going to talk about any type of 12-step program here. I'm going to talk about my experiences as an alcoholic and an addict, and I hope that you again can relate and some of this resonates with you. So what we're going to do here, first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to share a small piece of my sobriety for each video. Um, I also want to well, I have this folder. I am going to pull tarot card, and I'm also as I said, psychic, and intuitive and empath. I'm just whatever we got going on there. I'm it. I can also channel, but we're going to save that for future videos. Right now, so what I did was I cleansed the cards. There's no more bad juju. My favorite card is the Jennifer Galasso Crystal Visions Tarot deck. They're beautiful cards. I, as I said, cleansed and purified the cards and myself and my jewelry and my space. So all the bad juju is gone. So what I'm going to do is I have a folder. It's my YouTube folder. Okay, for topics. All relating to us as addicts, whatever we're addicted to. Us as addicts, and some of the law of attraction will be in these videos, and some tarot card pulls. So it's a little slow going on my first videos every time, so please bear with me. And all right, so I already pulled a card for the general energy for right now, and these readings are timeless. We're not all at the same point on our path to enlightenment, or our path to higher power even. So whenever you see this video is when you're supposed to see this video. So if your higher power or spirit, or spirit is my guides and angels, source is my higher power. So I may refer to my higher power as God, just because it's a commonly used phrase to use for a higher power. So if I bounce around with different names, it all means the same thing, except for, once again, my guides and my angels I refer to as spirit, and that they are who generally helps me decipher the noise that's going on in my head, or the chatter that's going on in my head, so I can, and that's what the tarot cards are for, because I could sit here and just give you a reading without tarot cards, but that wouldn't be that much fun. So, all right, I pulled a card already for the general, as I said, the general energy that's going on right now, and I pulled up the Two of Wands. The Two of Wands is about choices. And then I picked a topic out of my topic folder. And the topic I picked was allowing higher power to take over and the addictions to lose their power. Still going to be an addict or an alcoholic, though. Just want to make sure that's clear in case there's any people fresh into recovery, or people that are not sure that they want to be in recovery. Um, and the other thing I want to say before we get started is that we're going to speak our truth here. Okay, I'm not gonna, I don't need to cuss and swear all the time. I might swear every now and then, but I don't need to cuss and swear, and I don't need to be loud and obnoxious and rude, because that is who I was when I was drinking and using drugs, and it is also who I am when I am afraid. So understand that I spent all of my life afraid. It was debilitating. Okay, so um, that's why when I found alcohol and drugs, I got to go away. I got to leave the reality I was living in. And for a while it worked. For a long time it worked. And then it didn't. Well, somebody said something very profound to me. This is not my first time around the block, by the way, with recovering from addiction. But somebody said to me, and this time around in early recovery, she goes, "We use until we don't." And, it's like so simple, and but for me it was really profound. Whatever gets us here is whatever gets us here. I had my first drink at 14, and it was just one tester bottle of a liquor, and my sister gave it to me. And when it was gone, I said, "Is there more?" And she said no, and I got angry. And then I got depressed. And then, honestly, I didn't really think on it. After a while, I didn't even think on it until I was about 16, and I was invited to a party off school campus, and I went. And I had all the fun. I fit in all of a sudden. People spoke to me. I wasn't the outcast. And that's what alcohol and drugs did for me. They made me part of, because I never felt like I belonged. I never felt I belonged to my family. I'm considered the black sheep. I'm the bad person. I'm going to hell. I'm a sinner. I'm this, I'm that, I'm the other. Still, I'm 59 years old, and I still hear this stuff. And it's like, these days, it's like, okay, whatever. But when I was growing up, it was traumatic, and in my house it was spare the rod and spoil the child. um, I had a strict religious upbringing, not Catholic, but a fundamentalist Christian, in a fundamentalist Christian home, and I believed in a higher power, but the one that was being forced on me, it didn't make any sense to me. One minute God was loving and caring, and the next he was going to kick my butt. So I was never sure what was going on. So it didn't make sense to me. But I got very lucky when I came into recovery this time around. I came with a higher power, and in my own understanding of it. And when I got around people who supported me as a recovering person, I was allowed to have that belief system without being judged. And that's just a beautiful thing, especially for people who spend their whole lives being judged. Just because I got myself clean and sober doesn't mean people don't judge me. It just means I just don't care anymore. And it took me a lot of years, and I mean, I'm not an old timer, but it took me a lot of my 7 years. It took me about 6 years to finally understand that I didn't have time to care anymore. I just don't care. So there are some beautiful things that come about from recovery, and that is one of them. I get to be myself. And you know the thing we have to understand is that when we start getting ourselves together and stop using whatever we're using, and that could be gambling, sex, work, uh, TV, even social media. It doesn't have to be drugs and alcohol, you know but when we get into recovery from whatever we're recovering from, we start to shine brighter. And people hate that. They really do. But it's okay. They don't have to like it. We're not in recovery to please other people. That doesn't work. I tried it over and over and over. I'll do it for this person, that person. Nope. Had to do it for myself. And I had to be to the point where I didn't care if I was dead or alive. But if I did die, I wouldn't have had a problem with that. So that's where I was. And that apathy towards living or not living was the thing that hurt me the deepest, because that's not who I am. I'm not that person. I'm a giving person. Oh, by the way, I'm a recovering doormat too. I'm a giving person. I've learned to set boundaries, and the boundaries are good. And when people cross them 2 or 3 times, I'm done with them. It's okay to walk away from people, including family members. It's okay to walk away from people, places, and things. There's nothing wrong with that. So, again, I pulled the first card I pulled was Two of Wands, and that's about choices. So, this is where, as a collective, soul wise, soul family wise, the human collective, the unconscious collective of humanity. A lot of us are going through that, and some people like to call it our awakening, and I guess I choose to call it our reawakening, because we're born with all this knowledge. We know that we're supposed to have lives of bliss. We know we're supposed to enjoy ourselves. We know these things. And society breaks us down, family dynamics breaks us down, and says, no, you can't. To pretty much everything when you're a child. No, you can't do that, you can't do that, you can't do that. And that's what we hear. So, the choice here. I'm going to pull some more cards about a specific choice that will be going around the collective. So, following higher power to take over, and the addiction to for the addiction to lose its power. Okay, that can be the most difficult thing. It was difficult for me to let go and let higher power take over. And I'll be honest, I'm not even good at it yet. I'm better than I was, but I still snatch my will and my life back from a higher power. Because I'm conditioned to do that. Okay, I'm taking full responsibility for that. But even when a person takes full responsibility, there's still reasons behind it. I feel that anything anybody does that is negative, bad, awful, unacceptable, there's a reason behind that. And if I can get to the core reason of why I'm doing things that I shouldn't be doing, or doing things that I could do better, and know I could do better, right? Awareness is the first step. Acceptance is the second step. So, anywho, a lot of people struggle with giving their will and their lives over to a higher power. So, it's all good. We wouldn't be human beings. What's the point in being here? I got to tell you, if I was perfect, I'd probably be bored. All this stuff we're going through is a lesson. I feel that people in recovery, or even people who aren't in recovery, people, addicts and alcoholics, I feel that and this is going to sound so arrogant, I feel that we're leaders in change, because we changed. So once we get that vibe going to change, I do believe that it affects the other people around us, whether they know it consciously or we know it consciously. I feel that we do affect others around us, and therefore they affect others, and so on and so on. And sooner or later, the whole collective is affected. It's a beautiful thing. All right, so let's pick another card. What is this choice, Spirit? What is this choice? Oh, let me call Spirit in, sorry. There we go, loud noise, sorry about that. Calling in Spirit, what is the choice or the choices that we're looking at right now? Work related, for the most part, or money matters. All right, Nine of Pentacles. That's her tiger is her strength and her companion. And she is looking at all of the beautiful things that she has created. So Wealth, as you know, comes in many forms. It doesn't necessarily mean money, uh, although I feel that that's a part of it. It also it can be we can be abundant in our social lives. We can be abundant in our spiritual lives, in our um, family familial lives. We can be abundant in a lot of different aspects. And honestly, none of us is abundant on every single aspect at once. Again, we wouldn't be human if that was the case. We might occasionally get a day where we feel like we're balanced. But I don't know about you, but for me, yeah, I feel like that for maybe 2 or 3 hours, and then boom, gone. Saw ya. There it goes. Because my mind gets in there. My brain starts to work. All right, so we got the Nine of Pentacles, abundance. Making choices about abundance. Okay, and this is going to look like like a very depressing card, but if you look real good, that's the Nine of Swords. Swords are cutting through the BS. Okay, so what she's actually doing there, she's laid her sword down and she's resting, and the crows are standing there waiting for her because they have a message for her. So she has been victorious, and it's another number 9, by the way, and 9 is the number of abundance. So not just for, like I said, money, but she has an abundance of courage, and she has an abundance of, she won the battle, and that took a lot out of her. So she's resting. So we might be trying to make up our mind if we want to go. I struggle with taking a nap. Okay, I don't like to take naps. I feel like I'm wasting my time, but sometimes I have to, because I don't know about you, but I'm busy, and I think we're all busy, even if we're not physically busy. I know that we're all mentally and emotionally busy, because a lot of us are having these battles, and not necessarily with other people, ourselves. So, and it's just been amped up. We're getting the solar flares from the sun, and that is definitely affecting the planet in a good way. And it's also affecting us. It's bringing in these, they're referred to as light codes, or different downloads. Um, and what that really is your guides, your angels, your higher power, amping you up for the next step. We call it a glow up. You're getting ready for the next step because good stuff is coming soon. So we need to be prepared. And in order to be prepared, we need to receive these downloads, and then we need to rest because it's freaking exhausting. You know, my spirit guides won't let me sleep unless I do one of these videos. I did a video like 10 days ago and haven't done one since. And I haven't slept in 10 days. I'm sleeping 3 hours. As soon as I get done with this video, I'll have a great night's sleep tonight. It's a beautiful thing. Oh, yes, and I also wanted to mention these videos will be posted on Mondays at 7 a.m. Eastern Time. So it'll be available all week to look at, or whenever you want to look at it. But we're going to start out with once a week for a while, see how it goes, and then we'll take it from there. See how it goes as we grow. All right. Another card, Spirit. What else are we making choices on? What's the Nine of Swords about? Yeah. Like I said, the emotional stuff that we've been battling with ourselves. She looks disappointed. The thing is, there's only a crescent moon, so she can't see what's in front of her. Okay. Anytime there's a moon in the card, there's stuff that's hidden, especially a crescent moon. All right. So she doesn't see those water lilies there, which represent emotion, by the way. That's what cups represent. And a 5 in a tarot deck generally means that we're at a crossroads. It means that it's time to look at something that we're missing. So that's that. Give me more information on the Nine of Pentacles, please. Here she is. But there's the Queen of Cups. Okay, so as far as the Nine of Pentacles, the abundance on every level card. As far as the Queen of Cups is concerned, um, this is the aspect of ourselves, and you don't have to be a female. We all have male and female energy in us. But this is the energy of a queen, okay? And queens are thoughtful and abundant, obviously, and loving and nurturing and caring, okay? They don't put up with any crap, but they are the epitome of what compassion looks like. So the Queen of Cups has mastered her emotions. And again, it doesn't mean we always have our emotions mastered. We're learning as we go, especially people in recovery. We're learning as we go, one step at a time, one day at a time, one moment at a time sometimes, you know? So that stuff that you've been dealing with, as far as the Queen of Cups is, as far as the the Nine of Swords and the Five of Cups, I'll get myself together sooner or later. Nine of Swords and Five of Cups. As far as that's concerned, this says that you either have made the right choice, or you're going to make the right choice, or you are in the middle of making the right choice. That's what I wanted to say. Right in the middle of it. So keep going. Spirit says keep going. Okay, my guides talk to me, so sometimes I'll pause because I'm trying to process what they're telling me at the same time I'm running my mouth here. All right, let's pick another card just because. Oh my goodness, Judgment. Okay, and this is not in the biblical sense for us. Well, it might be. I mean, so we did people wrong when we were using, right? And people did us wrong while we were using, okay? Due to ignorance and not understanding that the disease isn't our fault. We didn't wake up one day and go, oh gee, I'd like to be a raging alcoholic when I grow up, or boy, I'd like to gamble all of my money and my family savings away. Nobody says that. Circumstances happen. And I believe that we're born into the bodies and the families that we're born into on purpose because we have a plan. Okay? This card is telling me that we are already, I don't want to say finished because I don't think it'll ever be fully finished, but I think that we have done a great deal of paying off karmic debt. Not just from this lifetime, but from past lifetimes. You know, some of us said, hey, I want to go pay up all that karmic debt at once. And Source said, that's going to be really hard. And we said, we don't care. And we came down here and we're paying off our karmic debt. And it turns out we do care. It's hard, right? And it's painful, right? It's painful. It's humiliating, but it's humbling too. And as recovering people, we need to be humbled. But I feel like this Judgment card isn't about what you've done to other people. This is about you getting your just rewards for what you've done for other people. For them, not to them, for them. It's a really excellent card to get if you're on the receiving end of the goodies. You know, it's a beautiful thing. So pay attention. Spirit's telling me to tell you to pay attention to the little things. And I mean, we should anyway, but in this particular instance, pay attention to the little things that are coming to you that don't suck. Pay attention to those things because those are little tiny gifts. And if we can be grateful for those little tiny gifts, we're going to get bigger stuff. It's lovely. At the bottom of the deck, I'll show you the bottom of the deck, we have the star. That is Aquarian energy for any of you Aquariuses or Aquarius Sun, Moon, Rising, North Node, Venus. Anybody with Aquarius in their chart, you can look up your placements online. Just put it in your Google search. You can look up your placements for your birth chart for free on several different websites. It's very interesting. So the star, anyway, look at her. She's seeding the planet. And she's seeding it with love, compassion, abundance. That's what she's seeding it with. And Aquarians, we're air signs, but we're the water bearers. So she's putting it in the water, and the water is the source of life, people. I love these cards. It's a beautiful picture. So things are coming. They're being seeded, and the thing is, Spirit's telling me to remind, because Spirit reminds me all the time, because I need it. Be patient. I know. You know what I say? Oh, I've been patient long enough, and I've been patient my whole life, and I'm sick of being patient. And that's why it's so important to be grateful for the little things, especially those surprise little things you weren't expecting. Like, say, okay, you were expecting the worst, and the worst didn't show up. As far as the law of attraction is concerned, by the way, we attract what we think about, right? And we attract how we feel about it is more important than what we're thinking about. How do we feel about what we're thinking? And sometimes the desire for something is so strong that it supersedes any negative thinking, like, oh, I'm never going to get that. I sound like Igor sometimes. I'm never going to get that. And yet there it is. Just experienced it. My jaw dropped open, even though I know about this stuff and I'm beyond aware of this kind of thing, as far as metaphysics and higher power and magic, and not in the traditional sense with the magic. So, but we do magic every day, just breathing and thinking and staying in recovery, staying sober, staying clean. We're doing magic right there. Anyway, so yeah, I mean, sometimes the desire supersedes the oh my God, I'm not going to get that. And I think when that happens, it's because it's time for it to happen. And I also think it happens also because maybe we're being given a gift to help us keep the faith. Because it's hard to have faith in something that you can't see or touch. And that's human also. Let's have another. Well, I pulled out the Knight of Cups upside down. Okay, hold on a second. I'll put them back up there. I turn them upright, but I pulled them upside down. Pulled them out upside down. And this is an experience that I've actually done some return to sender work on. Some of you may have someone trying to come at you from your past. And this has been an ongoing theme for a couple of months now. Again, remember, you're shining brighter. Nobody likes that. And some people want to take advantage of it. Oh, look how good he or she is doing. Look at that. I better go, tell them I'm sorry, I was wrong, blah, blah, blah. They're not sorry. The only thing they're sorry about is that they screwed up the first time. I'm going to tell our truth over here. So they're just sorry they messed it up the first time. All right? That's why I picked it up upside down. They are now not coming at you. Somebody new is going to come at you. So I'm going to pull a card to clarify that. But right now, that person from your past, and you know what? This person coming to you wouldn't have been healthy. I mean, you could have handled it, but this person doesn't understand you as a recovering human being because they're an idiot and they don't know any better. And I don't have a lot of compassion sometimes, so I apologize. But again, I'm going to state my truth. Person I'm thinking of that was coming at me is a jerk. Now, as a human being, I care very much for each and every human being on the planet, but we calls them as we sees them. This person does not understand you as a recovering person because they never understood you as a person who was using. They didn't get it. You were bad, you were awful, you were this, you were that. They were name calling you, they were gaslighting you. They're all gone now. They're all gone. And if you feel like they're still coming at you, because you got to use your own intuition with this stuff, if you feel like they're still coming at you, I printed out an evil eye, and on the back, in reverse, so that I could see it through the paper properly, the way it was supposed to be. In reverse, I wrote, return to sender. And you can light a candle, you can burn a candle over top of it. You don't have to. It's about the intention. A candle does, if that makes it work better for you, then have at it, please, because I did. But you don't have to have a candle. Return to sender. I put one in my pocket, on my person, and I put one in my sacred space. And this is why that person's not coming at me anymore. So give that a shot. Someone's coming at you. So let's pull the clarifier for what I was being told about a new person coming. All right, so this spread is covering all the bases. Love and money and career. Oh, speaking of career, thank you, Spirit. Speaking of career, if you are a person who works, you got an idiot at your job too, who is gaslighting you. And it's not necessarily a man. Could be a jealous female, kind of picking up on that. But like I said, it's not the same for everybody. You're going to know who I'm talking about as you're listening to this. Ignore them. They'll go away. Boss is going to see what's going on. Boss isn't stupid. And if the boss doesn't see what's going on, maybe you shouldn't be working there. You know what I mean? I know you can't just quit your job and all that, but I would start looking for something else. Entrepreneurship is very big right now. Very big. It's scary, but it works a lot better. It's a lot less scary if there's an income, a flow of money coming already. And then on the side, you just work on that entrepreneurship. That's what this is, right? I'm doing a YouTube video. Freaking love YouTube, you guys. It's awesome. All right, one more card, because we're going to clarify, oh geez, what did I say? I forget. It'll come to me. Ace of Swords. Okay. That's a beautiful card. Again, Swords is cutting through the BS. This is you. Okay. No matter how many people come at you because of jealousy or ignorance or whatever, you don't vibrate the same as they do anymore. That's why this card has appeared, because you don't vibrate. You've cut through the BS, and an ace is always a new beginning. Like I said, you could already be there, or you could have, let me rephrase. You could have arrived there already, or you could be on your way there right this second, like in the next few days, or it could come in the next 30 days, I'm thinking. I don't generally put timestamps on stuff, but 30 days, I'm thinking. So, Ace of Swords, cutting through the BS, people. You don't owe anybody anything except for yourself. You don't stay clean and sober for yourself, for anybody but yourself. You're not doing this for any other reason than you, right? So again, our first card, our main energy was the Two of Wands, about choices. And that's what you're doing right now. You're making a lot of choices. And these are life-changing choices, folks. Don't be afraid of it. This stuff is going to, listen, it's just like when we're using, it's like life came at us anyway. We just used to ignore it. But when I got sober, I thought I was scared because my life was going to change. And Spirit says to me, this stuff is going to happen whether you're clean and sober or not. But the time for not dealing with stuff is over. Okay, so now that you've either chosen to get yourself together as far as recovery, or now that you're already into recovery, life is coming at you still. And guess what? You're knocking over the soldiers one by one. Right? One at a time. just like everything else in life. You know, what boggles my mind, I'd love to meet, I don't think I've ever met one person, you know, that I've spoken to verbally that lives their life one step at a time and is aware or is aware that they're living their life one step at a time, except for people in recovery, because we have the benefit of support groups and supportive human beings, and there are people who understand us. And I got to tell you that I'm there for you. I got your back. Um, if you would like a private reading, and I will put this in the description box too, email me at thesoberpsychic24@gmail.com. Thesoberpsychic24@gmail.com. All small letters, okay? Thanks so much for showing up and hanging around, my lovelies. Have a beautiful, beautiful day.